Third Halo this week. Pretty damn strong one. Not really Halo conditions, but this might be the intro of the Shenmue 3 video. Bunch of turncoats and busybodies. And it's not even the people that are actually fans of the game. Same people who get on that bandwagon of, hey, it's a joke. Shenmue is the best game ever. There's lessons to be learned in it, man. Third Halo this week, and that's normal, right? Nothing to see here, right? Nothing to see here. It's windy. God bless. Hey people, I'm doing a little something out of the ordinary here. There is a game called Shenmue. This game had a huge impact on me. I got it for my birthday on 11/11/1999, and I was blown away. Growing up, I'd always played the Sierra games, and to me it seemed like the natural progression of the Sierra point-and-click games. Shenmue 3 was announced on Kickstarter, and I couldn't have been more thrilled. I remember back in the day, I was like, man, if I win the lotto, you know, you have these stupid fantasies in your head. If I ever win the lotto, I'm going to figure out if I can try to help finance this game. And then, you know, at E3 a couple years back, they played that Shenmue 3 trailer. And, hold on. I'm going to put the music really low in the mix. Okay, but what happened? Do you guys know that Shenmue 3 is going to be not on Steam? Now it's going to be on Epic Games. And a lot of PC gamers are unhappy about this. I watched this video with Adam Koralik, who's been a real cheerleader for the Shenmue 3, right? And over the years, it was 19 years ago, man. This game was released, it was amazing, and no one cared, no one bought it. And I think a lot of people were like, it's the most amazing game. It was in the Guinness Book of Records, man. It was like $60 million budget for the first game. But it wasn't received well. What a surprise. And then, it got me thinking though. Okay, so Shenmue 3. I'm going to try to do this quickly. Do you people know what pattern recognition is? Like patterns? Okay, so we got Avengers Endgame, which was okay, despite a lot of people were worried that Brie Larson was going to muck it up, right? Muck. And then Game of Thrones, right? That nosedive too. Has anyone noticed there's a lot of people right now unhappy because it seems like whether it be Game of Thrones, Captain Marvel, and now Shenmue. I can't even believe this. I mean, people, and a couple people have said this. Adam Koralik, Oregon pacifist, they're talking about how they've never seen the fan base more divided. And it's just like, I'm like, this is a little familiar to me. It's like when Biff Tannen, right? Old Biff Tannen in the future, 2015, was watching Marty McFly in the hoverboard, and he's like, this is very familiar, maybe. It's the same pattern. It's get people bummed out. This world, in my opinion, it likes to troll the masses. I don't know why. I mean, to me, Shenmue seems like a small fish, small fry. How it got pulled into this. I saw the Quartering do a video, and I was like, really? I mean, you know, I'm just thrilled that the most amazing game I've ever played. I mean, when you look at the prophecy, obviously people know I'm a Christian, right? But when you look at the prophecy in Shenmue, it's art imitates life. There's a lot of interesting things there. The red phoenix mirror, the blue dragon mirror, maybe it's aqua blue. It's the color duality. But Adam Koralik, I just watched his video, and he looks so bummed out, dude. And I want you people to realize, I think some of you will get this, you know, like the pacifist gentleman. I'm sure people like him will understand that there's an energy in this world that wants people to be depressed and low vibration. When you're in low vibration, you're sad, you're angry, and it just goes from there, you know. It builds on itself, and it can really be a negative thing. It's something that, of the world, that you put a lot of hope into, like Game of Thrones or Cheese Larson, you know, and how they shoehorned her into the new Avengers. But the Shenmue is amazing. I mean, the graphics still stand up today on the original Dreamcast, which is my favorite console. But I mean, I've noticed with a lot of these kind of things, with Game of Thrones, there's a lot of this outrage and anger, and people are offended. And Matthew 24, I think 11 says, many will be offended. People are very unhappy. I think it has something to do with about 1,000 people having 90% of the world's money. And their anger and outrage will manifest into whatever path of least resistance they have. And it's very, I mean, Shenmue. How did Shenmue get caught up into this machine of outrage and anger? From what I can tell, basically, if you got Steam, it's much easier or something. You have trophies, virtual trophies, and you don't get to have those virtual trophies with the Epic Game Store. Or it's like 1 year exclusivity thing with the Shenmue, not available on Steam. And another channel, the Pacifist, Oregon Pacifist, said that in the original Kickstarter, it didn't say that the whole Steam thing was guaranteed. And there are a lot of bots, man. The level of AI, maybe this will get some of you who are kind of like I used to be a few years ago before this whole awakening thing. People that it's there's good and evil, night and day, sun and moon, love and hate, right? And there's an evil force in this world, man, and it wants people bummed out, and it doesn't discriminate. If there's a way to get all these Shenmue 3 people, Shenmue fans, bummed out, and honestly, I bet you 70% of the people that have kickstarted Shenmue and have been waiting 19 years for this amazing game to come out are completely fine, if not higher than that, if not 80-90%. There's a lot of I mean, how about means to an end? How about the most important thing is the game is finally coming out? To me, it's like one for the good guys. It's a beautiful game, beautiful story, and it's really inspiring. And I mean, there's a spiritual depth to Shenmue that you don't see in a lot of games. And I mean, you can look for sailors and that kind of thing, but to keep this simple and wrap this up, all I'm saying is that these Shenmue fans, like Adam and the other people, are talking about how I've never seen the fan base more divided. What is your perception of the fan base? You're basing that on all these comments online, which are posted by real people like you, right? Because that's what's happening, right? It isn't a bunch of, maybe half of them are bots. Because I don't even really allow comments on my videos, and in the future moving forward, I'm not really going to, because enough with the gematria and symbol magic, and this is going to make no sense to any mainstream Shenmue people who watch this video. But the bot's AI. It's AI. A lot of that's AI. And they're the ones saying, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm not going to take this anymore. And can you believe they did this? Can you believe it? I have to use a different game launcher, and it has less, it's not as good as Steam. And I mean, I'm really uninformed with this whole thing. I really don't get it. I don't understand all this outrage. But I notice a pattern here. We're spiritual beings, and they want you in low vibration. Who is they? There is some evil force in this world, man. And being a Christian, I call it something, you know. But you can see this pattern. Can you not see it repeating itself? Step back from the game of life, and pay attention. We can play Shenmue in the game of life and enjoy it, but we're playing a game too. You know, keep that in mind, and don't let it pull the wool over your eyes. And I've seen a lot of the same commenters just spewing negativity and hatred about this game. And, you know, there's some good guys, you know, salt of the earth kind of fellas talking about this game, and they get all these thumbs down and negative comments. And I don't think a lot of the people doing the negative comments and thumbs down are going to buy the game or anything. There is an army here that perpetuates negativity and anger and division. Okay? I've learned this from this whole truth community thing in the last few years. And I can't believe it's affecting Shenmue. I mean, most people don't even know what Shenmue is. Most people, you know, they'd rather play Madden or GTA, you know. But to me, 2 years ago when they announced it, I was like, oh my lord, I can't believe it. 19 years later, and with all the weird stuff happening in this world, it was still pretty weird to me that Shenmue was finally coming out. I mean, you can't, you know, be honest with yourself and tell that it's not highly unlikely that it was ever going to happen, right? And it did. And you got all these people, and they're happy, and they have solidarity. We're all together. We're back in Shenmue. I wasn't able to, but a lot of people, you know, I would have liked to, but... And now it's all divided. And there's all this discord and confusion and anger. And it's the same script playing over and over in this world, folks. So I hope this doesn't wake any of you up who aren't really awake. I'm not talking about being woke either. But ignorance really truly is bliss. And I hope a lot of you get to play Shenmue 3 without really waking up to a lot of what's going on in this world right now, because unless you can do something about it, what is the point in understanding a lot of what's happening, right? You can only really affect a small part of the world in your little circles. So, but it's the same pattern, folks. Okay, I saw that. I'm like, really, Shenmue? Because I've been following this closely. It's my favorite game I've ever played, and it has had a huge effect on me. And I think, like Ryu and Shenhua, like, there's a concept called soul twins, and they're based on the soul twin archetype, in my opinion. Like, Ryu has dreams of her before they meet, and that often happens with soul twins. But most people don't have soul twins who think they do, because just like everything else, it's all confusion and deceit in this world. But then there's a phoenix and a dragon mirror, right? And there's this, in the game, there's this whole prophecy, you know, of what's going to happen. And if you look at Shenhua and Ryu, they look kind of similar. They both have hazel eyes. They're both Asian Americans. Well, she's Chinese Asian American, and he's a Japanese Asian American. Anyway, you know, some of you have the wherewithal. I saw some of the comments on Adam's video and the Oregon Pacifist video, and I saw comments, and people are aware of this whole thing, this whole system, this whole machine of anger and discord, and realizing that it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, man. You know, don't be deceived, don't be fooled by this, because I have discernment, and to me, it's just the same damn thing. It's, the Gillette commercial, you know? It's the Gillette commercial, right? The Gillette commercial is bad because men are bad. And Brie Larson, Game of Thrones, it's the same thing repeating itself, man. And it's crossing over all types of media. And what is the ultimate result? You have people like Adam Koralik, who looks like he just broke up with his girlfriend or his wife was cheating on him. I don't even know if he has a wife or girlfriend. I'm just saying he looked really forlorn. Okay, Adam looked forlorn, and see through the game. Okay, because we're in the game of life, and realize that anything you hold dear in the world can be manipulated by this world. And right now the current trend is to get people bummed out. Because if you're in a low vibration state, what did Gamork say in the Neverending Story? People who've lost dreams and their hopes are easy to control, man. And if you're living for things like, a lot of people, the Game of Thrones was really close to their heart, Shenmue really close to their heart, and to see that drag through the mud can really make you a little more cynical, and it's not good for you. You got to stay high vibration, man. Don't take it too seriously. I mean, this world is a bit of a joke, and so if you don't take it too seriously, and you just, get in where you fit in, and but yeah, I'm hoping I can upload this. I'm flabbergasted that this happened with Shenmue also, because I figured they would only do it with really big things like Captain Marvel, Avengers, Game of Thrones, like these really big things. Gillette commercial, so men who shave, right? But now they're even going for this, and it's an energy, and it affects people, and there's an agenda here, and they want all of you bummed out. Okay? Tinfoil hat, all right? I mean, if you can recognize the patterns happening here, it isn't that far-fetched. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about jet fuel melt steel beams or something, okay? I'm not talking about Building 9. I'm just talking about Shenmue, okay? And I was going to show the trailer, the Shenmue 3 trailer, Prophecy trailer. It's really good, man. It's early footage. The gameplay looks amazing now. I just watched the latest videos, and I'm thrilled that there is something in this world that's coming out that still has heart to it. And everyone's going after you, Suzuki, on Twitter. Well, don't do Twitter. Don't do social media. This whole thing, it's a big ruse, and most people fall for it, okay? Most people who are awake and asleep fall for it. Be thankful for what you got, and don't let them pull the wool over your eyes. Just because you see all these comments and videos, what is it going to be next week, right? It's going to be something next week, man, to get more people bummed out. Why do you think there's an agenda to get people bummed out? That's what you need to ask yourself. That's it. God bless.